Monday, investigators released this video showing a person walking in an alley near the couple's home in Wineland Park, the first piece of digital evidence shared with the public.
You know, I think the scariest thing in any relationship is becoming so close to somebody to where you form some sort of a codependency with that person. I think it's a nasty thing, man. Everybody needs to have their own personal achievements, their personal goals, and they come back together to be happy with one another. But time and time again, you'll see some relationships to where if one person isn't acting too right, the other person is completely losing their mind. They're completely bonded to the way when one stops functioning, the other one might become a little dangerous. And that, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, is exactly what happened between Monique Tepe and Michael McKee. Okay, Monique moved on with her life. Monique was on her way to living her secondary life while Michael couldn't move on. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with the story, Monique and Spencer Tepe had been married for a little while. Spencer is Monique's secondary husband. They've been married for 5 years, okay? Now, on the other hand, the ex-husband, Michael McKee, was married to Monique for only 2 years prior. And judging by this information, this is where I feel like there's a discrepancy of attraction, where there was a bond on one side that was stronger than on the other side. Because Michael McKee, right, a surgeon, doing very well in his job, doing very well in his life, who could get any girl in his life, decided to, instead of just continue with his career and get another wife and move on with his life, he would go and stalk and hunt down his ex-wife until he killed her. He left her certain notes saying, if I can't have you, nobody else can. You know what I'm saying? The typical crazy ex-husband shit. But I understand that behavior for bums. You know, people who don't have shit going for themselves. Okay, maybe your girl was the only thing going for you. So now you gotta kill her to feel better about yourself. This man was a whole surgeon. He spent, if I recall, 7 years studying to be a surgeon. Okay, now this is where I don't know if it's jealousy or if it's my original theory of them being unequally bonded, but something drove this man over the edge to where he really felt like he was James Bond in this bitch, going to take out his wife and her husband. Now, I'm not sure if the husband maybe made him feel inadequate, because the husband's also doing very well as well. The new husband is a dentist. You know, so she's living life, having a great time. He loves his job. Life is beautiful. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Mr. McKee comes back into her life to kill her. But anyways, I want to take you guys down the timeline of what happened before the murders, because this kind of shows how methodical this guy really was. This isn't just some random crime of passion to where, you know, he ran into her and his emotions got the best of him. This guy was stalking her. Okay? And it's a big man, too. It's not no regular size. This is some big 6'4", 200-some pound man who has anger issues, man. I would be scared. And this is why I'm saying, man, you know, be careful who you decide to let in your house and inside of you. Because you might, once they get a little touch of you, they might act a little crazy and you won't be able to control it. But anyways, let's go ahead and check this thing out. There's a lot to cover. As you know, autopsies are coming out, footage is coming out. Let's start at square one and let's see what exactly happened. So TMZ just recently dropped an article basically covering the logistics of what happened that night. And when you go through it, you can see that there was some rage involved in this hit, because he shot his wife 9 times. Apparently, it's probably going to be a different number by the end of this week. He shot his wife 9 times, and apparently the man 7 times. So let me read this to you real quick before we get into the actual footage that the police found of the guy leaving the house. Shocking development in the double murder of an Ohio dentist and his wife. She was shot 9 times and he took 7 bullets, and her ex-husband is charged with their murders. Monique Tepe took 1 bullet to the head, 3 to the chest, 1 to the ribs, and 1 to the forearm, 1 to the hand, and 2 to her upper arm, according to Franklin County Coroner's Office. Spencer, meanwhile, took 1 bullet to the head, 1 to the neck, 3 to the torso, and 2 to his bilateral upper extremities. Bilateral upper extremities. So that's like his guts, I would assume, like his stomach, his gut. That was brutal. And if you guys are paying attention to the placement of the shots, I don't think he shot them in the head first, right? Because they said they were shot in the arm, the hand, and like somewhere in the upper arm. So they're probably putting their hands out. You know, they're probably trying to naturally, instinctively block the bullets. Obviously, it's not going to block anything while he's shooting them. So clearly, this guy lost his mind. And I always say, you know, for the people who have nothing to lose, understandable. But for somebody who genuinely has so much to offer in life, and for someone who's been divorced from this woman for the past 2 years, how much can you hate her? It's either this guy was madly jealous of her or she was controlling him financially. And I highly doubt it was the second option. This guy was probably fully obsessed. And you know, the thing that really burns me the most, right? You know, having ex-girlfriends or whatever for men, at least, for me at least, when you find out they started dating, like, oh, she started dating 3 months later. Oh, she found the boyfriend after we broke up just a couple of weeks later. That's what hurts the most. So I don't know if he found out that she got engaged to this dentist and that really just ran him over the rails, but something clicked his brain on the other side, on the deep end. Because 9 shots and 7 shots clearly means you have to reload. I don't think he has that much ammo, so he's reloading that shit, just blasting. It's crazy, man, but let's move forward. Bullets caused damage to Monique's lungs and heart. They fractured bones in her cheek, ribs, and arm. Spencer's brain, lungs, liver, and colon were ripped apart by the gunshots, and they fractured bones in his skull, ribs, and hands. When his body got to the coroner, he had still 1 bullet lodged inside. Prosecutors have charged Michael McKee, Monique's ex-husband, an Illinois surgeon, with 4 counts of aggravated murder and a single count of aggravated burglary. I don't know what he was stealing other than lives. I doubt he stole anything. Maybe he stole their car or some shit, but we could go ahead and scratch off the burglary. We have enough charges to put this motherfucker in jail for the rest of his life. You know what I mean? It's not looking too good for bro. And we have to say allegedly, but look at his face. If you ask me if he did something, I would say he probably did it just by looking at his face. You know what I mean? Shit. But anyways, let's continue. He's pleaded not guilty. Spencer and Monique married in 2020, had 2 children. The kids have since been placed into care of the relatives. And I saw in the comment section that he should also have a charge for child endangerment, which is 100% true. What if he shot up the family? Not the family. What if he shot up the couple and the kids got hit? Because the kids were still in the house. The kids were in the house for all of this. So mommy and daddy are dying in the next room, and they're right there. Yeah, they're gonna be fucked up growing up. You know what I mean? And that's what he caused. So yes, he should probably have a child endangerment charge on top of that, just for GP, just off of the muscle. But anyways, let's move forward. This is the image. This is the video shortly after the situation that they believe this is him. Now, I want to go a little bit deeper into this before we play it. The super sleuths online and the detectives and everybody online already started comparing the shuffle that he's doing compared to his prison footage, and people are saying it's a 99% match. It's the same person. So let's go ahead and run the footage real quick.
Colin, yeah, we know that this case has gained attention nationwide, and it took a major turn 11 days after the murders. Now, records say police were able to identify the ex-husband, Michael McKee, through that surveillance video, ultimately leading to an arrest. 39-year-old Michael McKee was
look
booked
at him,
into
bro.
jail on Saturday. He's charged with 2 counts of murder in connection to the deaths of Monique and Spencer Tepe. Monday, investigators released this video showing a person walking in an alley near the couple's home in Wineland Park. The first piece of digital evidence shared with the
Look at him.
public.
Look at him.
On
You can
Friday,
tell he's trying to
Columbus
cover
Police Chief
himself
Elaine
up.
Bryant addressed the video.
We released a video of the person of interest that we're looking for, the person that we know that was in the area at that time.
According to investigative records, that person walking in the alley is believed to be McKee.
Let me look at how tall McKee is, because that's point number one. That's a big man walking down the street right now. Michael McKee height. Okay, so I can't find a particular height, but you can tell that this is a larger man. You can't say that this is a 5'5" man when clearly this is a 6'4", 250-pound man walking down the snow. You got caught, bro. I'm gonna tell you this, man. Shit. The reason he killed them is because he thought that they were living a better life than him. He was miserable. Even though he was probably making $200,000, $300,000 a year, you know, probably making a decent living, he couldn't have his ex-wife live a happy life with a dentist, somebody who's beneath him. You know what I mean? Oh, he's beneath me. He's a dentist. I'm a whole surgeon. How could you go for him? That's what this really is. Anyways, let me stop yapping. Let's continue.
According to investigative records, that person walking in the alley is believed to be McKee. Detectives say the video links him to a car seen arriving shortly before the shooting and leaving moments afterward. The car was later located in Rockford, Illinois, where police confirmed McKee was the registered owner. Records show McKee holds a medical license in Illinois. Divorce filings show Monique Tepe and Michael McKee ended their marriage almost 9 years ago in June 2017. McKee is expected to appear in a Winnebago County courtroom on Monday.
And you know, I say it all the time. You can't get away with shit, bro. You really cannot. You will not get away with this stuff. If you want to commit a murder in the United States of America, you could go to Mexico and do it. You'll be fine. You know, AG Tactical is not telling you to go to Mexico and commit murder. I'm just saying, if you were to do it, you'll probably get away with it. If you want to commit a felony of that level in the United States, you are not getting away. You better be in some hick town where there's no cameras, there's no paved roads, and try to do that shit. If you live in any major city, not even a major city, if you live in any city that's decently developed in the United States, you are going to get caught. They have cell phone records. They have cameras on everybody's house. Every car that goes down the road has a GPS built into it now. Every car has a camera connected to it now. You're not getting away, bro. Listen, he probably thought he was zip-tied clean when he did this murder. His dumbass was followed all the way to his car and all the way home. So, you know, hopefully he didn't do it thinking he would get away, because nowadays, if you're going to do something like that, you have to do it knowing that you're going to go to jail in the next coming months. It's just going to happen, bro. You're not going to get away. It's over with. You're just not. You're just not going to get away. But anyways, let's move forward and let's see his official policia arrest, okay? Because they had him bending over and coughing, okay? And I thought that was really fucking funny. Let's check this out.
We have new video for you today. The moment Michael McKee was booked into the Franklin County Jail. You can see he takes his clothes off for a pat down there. He's issued slides for the rest of the booking process. He walks through the office calmly.
Now watch him. Now pay attention, right? You see how calm and collected he is? It's almost like he knew this was the end and he's just happy he got that bitch. That's what it seems like. You know what I'm saying? Watch how he walks into the room. We've seen hundreds of people go into the jail cell, covered it, watched it, viewed it, laughed at them, you know what I'm saying? Him, he's one of the few who walks in this bitch like, you know, head up high, back straight, confident. Man, listen, he really, for whatever happened, he really hated that woman. And I think her husband that she had at the time, he was just collateral damage. He shot her 9 times. Yeah, her husband, he was just in the room and he had to get clapped too. Luckily, he didn't kill the kids.
We have new video for you today. The moment Michael McKee was booked into the Franklin County Jail. You can see he takes his clothes off for a pat down there. He's issued slides for the rest of the booking process. He walks through the office calmly.
Well, McKee was arrested at a Chick-fil-A in Rockford, Illinois. After days in jail there, he was brought back to Ohio. McKee is accused of killing his ex-wife, Monique Tepe, and her husband, Spencer. Monique and Spencer had 2 children, both under the age of 5, and they were not harmed.
Wearing a jacket, pants, glasses, and handcuffed, Dr. Michael McKee walks into the Franklin County Correction Center showing no emotion as he is booked. He's patted down and changes into jail shoes. McKee is facing 5 charges in the deaths of his ex-wife Monique Tepe and her husband, dentist Spencer Tepe. There are 4 premeditated aggravated murder charges with a gun specification accusing McKee of using a suppressor and 1 aggravated.
And he has a suppressor. This is what I'm saying. This man thought he was James Bond going after his wife. That shit's crazy. Listen, that woman was a little too happy, and that man was a little too good looking. And it seemed like he was making her a little too joyous in the world. That's what happened, bro. I promise you that's what happened. Will he ever admit to that? Probably not. You know? He's gonna plead not guilty. He's gonna fight. He's gonna have his little expensive lawyer. I think he has a decent lawyer. Not gonna help him. You know what I'm saying? So we're never gonna know the real reason, but I could almost guarantee you, he saw that woman moving on. He said, "Nah, man. Nope. Gotta take care of it."
Burglary charge. Tepe's 2 young children, ages 4 and 1, were at home at the time the couple was shot to death. McKee is not facing any charges involving the children. Dave DeVillers was the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Ohio from 2019 to 2021 and served as an Assistant U.S. Attorney from 2002 until 2019. He explains why McKee might not be charged with death penalty specifications now.
Were you surprised that there's no death penalty charges on here?
I'm not, because Ms. Faber indicated she was opposed to death penalty. She made that perfectly clear when she ran. So I'm not at all surprised.
But DeVillers explains prosecutors can decide to add the death penalty specifications later, or the case could be moved to federal court.
But yeah, that was just pretty much him being escorted through the police station. I do find it kind of interesting that he's just walking around like he's got his shirt off in his house. You know, hands swinging. You know, he's fine. He's accepted what's coming, is what it seems, and we'll keep an eye on him, okay? Because there's a lot more to come. You know, the autopsy report just got released recently, so we're gonna check that out tomorrow, more than likely, and we're just gonna follow the case from there. But anyways, folks, I just wanted to bring this to you, man. We're going to keep up with the story. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep our eyes and ears on the streets. But until then, you guys already know what time it is. Stay inside, stay safe. I love y'all for coming out, man. Hype the video if you want to see some more information about Michael McKee. Like the video, comment, let me know. And I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.